All right, I want to give a big thank you here to Ortegablue because this is really good stuff that she pointed out. And also someone else commented below and said the same thing about this video I did earlier about this picture that my wife found that's titled the Fortress of Solitude, and it's in Antarctica. And I tell you what, now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give it over to my wife. Like, this totally lends more validity to this whole theory, if you ask me, because this is not a painting. This is a for real picture. Thanks to Ortegablue and another person for pointing that out. This is not a painting, a rendition. This is an actual picture taken down in Antarctica by this super famous photographer. So this is a real deal picture, and I didn't even mention before, isn't it nice how it's in black and white? So those are your Masonic tribute right there alone. But anyway, on to you.
Okay. Well, the subject of Antarctica has come up a lot, and we were talking about it last night, especially with the cruise or exploratory or research or whatever it is, ship that's stuck in the ice. Tony and I were talking about it, and I went to sleep thinking about it. And whenever I woke up this morning, I just had Fortress of Solitude stuck in my head. For whatever reason, I don't know if my subconscious or something made the connection, or if it was just a higher power trying to get me to look at
The creator
this.
led you. Quit trying to church it up.
All right. I was churching it up. But anyway, I kind of drew the parallel from Superman has this Fortress of Solitude, and it's supposed to be like this crystal layer. Well, it's always depicted as this cold, like, area that's cavernous and icy. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do a search for Fortress of Solitude Antarctica. And lo and behold, this picture popped up. And I kind of ran with it before I did all the research. So I didn't realize that it was an actual picture. I thought it was just a painting. And I ran to Tony and I woke him up this morning and I said, you have got to look at this because it's a depiction. And even though in actuality it's a real picture of an ice cube with a keyhole. And it kind of reminds me of pictures of the quote-unquote New Jerusalem.
Right, yeah.
So that's all. So it was my fault that we kind of ran with the whole it's a painting because I didn't research it. I just saw that it was an artist who had taken the picture and didn't realize that it was a picture. I thought it was a painting. So
yeah, and that makes and look, you don't have to believe this. We're not twisting anybody's arms saying you have to believe what we're saying is all, but that just because see, the whole thing is too is there are people who don't know a whole lot about, or saying they're not sure about the cube and all this kind of stuff and what it is I'm talking about.
It kind of made me a believer because it's just here recently that I have been sitting in with Tony while he's shown me about the cube and the keyhole and the pathway and stuff like that. And for me to go to bed and wake up and find this picture on, like a divine intervention, it just amazes me.
So if you guys want to learn, you can watch this video because I'm still learning about this whole thing too. There's just no doubt about it, right? This cube is. If you want to watch this video, I kind of explain it a little bit, and then if you go to this one here and you read down and scroll down here and you read this conversation between me and this guy lays it all out there. This guy, I mean, he's got it. He knows exactly what he's talking about with this thing. See, the cube is this. It's worshipped by all the religions. It's everywhere. It's in all the logos. It's what these guys do. It's also. Not only does it represent a doorway out of here, it also is, like this guy talks about, it's a for real prison for these really evil things. Yes, there was someone who said, there's the fallen ones are already here. Yes, that's correct. But there's also a whole other, I don't know if there's one of them, one big one, or that's the devil or whatever, if it's a bunch of little ones, but they are indeed trapped in this prison that is the cube, and it's in Antarctica. It's a crystal ice, glass, adamantium prison. It's all the same thing. If you read in the Paradise Lost, John Milton writes about Loki, who is Saturn or Satan, is locked up in adamantium chains, and the chains that Satan is talked in the Bible. It's all crystal, ice, glass, adamantium. It's all the same thing.
And that's what the Fortress of Solitude is.
Yep, and these things are trapped in it, and they're about to get them out. That's why, and they're down in it's in Antarctica. They're at that Lake Vostok, which it just made huge news last year because the Russians they're drilling down there. They finally got to this Lake Vostok that's 200 miles under the ice they're trying to get to. So it's got to be what they're getting at. That's got to be underneath there somewhere. The same thing happened in the Transformers movie. They're trying to get to this thing and basically open Pandora's box, and when they do, that's when the real trouble comes, the New World Order and all this kind of stuff, and that's what they're doing. There's all this news coming out. Like I said, you have Metallica. That's where Metallica went. They went to Lake Vostok, and they have an old song that they're really well known for called Trapped Under Ice. They have been around, that effing band has been around forever. Forever they've been playing, and then now they finally just go to Antarctica. They have been playing forever, and now they decide to go to Antarctica. Then you have that whole cruise or research expedition ship that's down there. Now they're talking about them people getting airlifted out of there because they said they sent some Chinese ship to rescue them. They said they tried 3 times. Why would they try 3 times? Why would they just not try it once and say, hey, the ice is too much, let's send them in? Why do they try, or the choppers in? Why do they do it 3 different times? Something don't add up about that story. None of it really does. So there's a bunch of news coming out of there, and they're in that freaking trying to get to that cube, or something with that cube is about to start, which is the doorway, which is mentioned in all the religions. Just do a quick Google search. Do a Google image New Jerusalem. Google image the UN prayer room. You will see it's all a cussing cube. The cube is the hexagon. It's the same because the hexagon is a 2-dimensional version of a 3-dimensional cube. It's on the North Pole of Saturn. You got Santa. Where is he from? The North Pole. You switch one letter in Saturn and Satan, and you got Santa. It all comes back to this thing every freaking time. So it's just crazy that she just woke up one day, just yesterday, or this morning.
It was this morning.
In Fortress of Solitude, and we look up what we thought was a painting. It's a freaking picture. It's all right there. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
So, watch this video if you're trying to learn about this stuff. I'm not great at it. I'm still learning. Occult Science 0 CS 101. If you're interested, he does great work. And then this conversation here, this guy writes it all out for you. And it don't take long. It's complicated, but it's not. And you'll get all caught up real quick. But this is the real deal. This stuff is, you can't debunk it. There's a cube. Oh, there's the hexagon like I was talking about. That's on Saturn. And Saturn is Satan, because Saturn is a planetary representation of a star. Lucifer is called the morning star or the light bearer. And you have also the fact that whenever Satan was first written about, he was written about as a planet Saturn. So that's how it all mixes together, but that was in my video. But either way, so there you go, just crazy ramblings.
Thank you for all the subscribers, and thank you for all the support. It's greatly appreciated.
Yep, and thanks very much again to Ortegablue, because that's awesome. That's just really a picture, not a painting. That's amazing. So thanks again, everybody, for the support, for watching. Appreciate it, everyone. And no one's asking to believe this stuff. We're just throwing this stuff out there. All theory and conjecture, as old Bill says. So thanks, everybody.